Well, hello everyone. We are going to play with the new, much anticipated Snowflakes frame punch today. I have to say that I've had it in my possession for about 4 or 5 months now because it was sent to me with the Snowbound products to do stuff for the magazine and the blog and things. And it has just been killing me not to show it to you and play with it with you because it's beautiful. So I'm excited about that. But I do want to talk really quickly about February. So here we are at the beginning of February. Let me just switch you over here. Just talk quickly about what's happening. Lots of things going on. So we are here already on the 3rd, which is the first Thursday. So we're doing a Facebook Live today. I've got the Scrap Olympics in my VIP group starting tomorrow, along, of course, with the Winter Olympics from Beijing. Then we've got a full day of cropping happening inside our Scrap Your Stash 2022 class. That will be great. We had such a great time last month, and so they're all getting prepped for the crop on Saturday. We make 6 layouts in 6 hours, and you might even have time to do some other work too. So that's lots of fun. Not too late to join us. I'll put the links up a little bit later on. Then next week, my VIPs are doing a card class with me. My 1, 2, 3 insiders will have their content up by Wednesday. I'm going to be on the Creative Scrapbooker Magazine Facebook page next Thursday. Virtual crop coming in on that weekend of 11th and 12th. We may have a product launch, who knows? I've got those on with question marks there. Usually CM has those mid-month product releases, so I'm thinking that it might be that weekend. Another Facebook Live 2 weeks from today. And what else? Oh, and then I've got a beautiful memories class with my VIPs. So lots of good things happening, very exciting. And I was just texting with both Lauren and Kylie, and we are really hoping to get another episode of our Scrap With Me ×3 up before the end of the month. So we'll see how that all works out. We will definitely keep you posted. Thank you for all of the love on that collaboration. We're having lots of fun with it. So we will try to get our next episode up to you soon. Okay? So that's what's coming up. Busy month for such a short month. I am absolutely loving all of the new products, but as I said, I wanted to play with the Snowflakes frame punch. So if you haven't already seen the new products from Creative Memories that have launched this month, all about travel. We've got the Wanderlust collection, of course, fantastic travel collection for both, local travel adventures as well as those big trips abroad. You're going to find something that'll work there. We've got the 3 destinations as well. The NOLA, which was part of the incentive trip last year. So there's this album, the paper pack, the masquerade punch, all those fun things. Then there's Mexico and Italy theme packs. So there's so much travel focus this month, and I will be sharing more of that later in the month. But because we've been waiting so long for the adorable Snowflake frames punch, I got out the last few sheets of paper I have from the Snowbound collection, and I thought we would make 3 different easy, fast, and fun layouts. So I'm not going to make the whole layout here, but I'm basically going to show you how to create 3 different looks with 1 piece of the Snowbound paper and 1 base page or cardstock sheet or album page. So hopefully you'll go away with today, with 3 new ideas to try as soon as you get yours. And I know many of you are saying that yours is either coming today or you've already ordered it, can't wait for it to come. So you are going to have lots of fun with it when it arrives, okay? I'm just seeing a comment here, would love to see another collaboration, really love Scrap With Me ×3. Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and as I said, thank you so much for all of the love and support. We had fun doing it, and we definitely want to do it again. Okay. So I think that was everything I wanted to say. That was my really fast sort of intro today because I want to get to this. Let me switch you over to my table and we can get scrapping. So, you've seen me work with Snowbound before. We did a Facebook Live a few weeks back where we had a where we used the circle cutter or the custom cutting templates, the circle versions of those. I've done some other fun things. I did a page for CLS with this. So it's a beautiful collection, and we're still deep into winter here, so it's a good collection to still be using. I have these 6 pieces left, and of course I could use any of them for the decorative page and then the base page, but I think I'll probably stretch it, pick 3 of the double-sided pattern papers, and then choose a coordinating cardstock for my base. So again, colors that go really well with this collection: navy, the light blue, the dark green, the light gray, and white. And I don't know why I didn't have that out, but of course the aqua goes beautifully there as well. Okay, so I'm going to probably choose one of those cardstock colors, and I think I'm going to use these 3 papers. These to me are kind of the beautiful highlight sort of papers. Okay, beautiful green snowflakes, the navy and teal snowflakes, and then this pretty blustery sort of color. So let's get started. The first page we're going to do is actually the easiest, and it's a technique that I like to come back to anytime I have a frame punch. It's super fast and gives you really great results and really versatile. So if you haven't used one of the frame punches before, know that you can make both a frame, which means it goes around the corners of the pages, as well as borders. So it goes just across the page. And the key to it, oops, almost dropped it there. The key to it is the lines. So the front lines, the lines on the front of the housing and that are on the base plate inside. You can never really see it really well on camera, but you'll be able to see that the lines go on the base plate as well. Those are the border, okay? The way I like to remember it is there are 2 silver lines on the base plate, and they frame, get it? They frame the body of the punch. So I hope you can see it there. Try to get the right angle. So right along there, and then right along there. And so I remember that because those 2 lines frame the body of the punch. So those are the ones that we use to create a frame. And then the ones on the front we use to create a border, just like we do for every other border punch. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 piece, full-size sheet of designer paper, double-sided, and we are going to frame the whole paper. So we're going to start at that outside line, the silver line that you can see on the base plate. And we're just going to go ahead and punch, and I'm sorry if my table jiggles a bit. I'm going to be doing a lot of punching today, so I will say sorry in advance, and hopefully it doesn't make you feel sort of crazy. So all I'm doing is I'm going along. I moved it a little bit obviously there. I'm going along, and after I punch the first one, I just line up the design that has been punched on the paper with the design on the plate. Now I've turned the corner, and again, that little sort of tab is lined up with the frame punch, okay? So now you got that little square that gets punched away. Continue punching along, lining up the snowflake as you go. Now what's really nice about this punch is not only is it a frame punch and a border punch, but it also creates these beautiful snowflakes. I think there's about 3 different sizes. There's little teeny ones, okay? There's the big ones, and then I think there is another size. Yeah, there we go. So you actually get 3 different sizes of punched snowflake in your punch out pieces. So it's kind of like a 3-for-1. It's pretty awesome. All right, so now I'm turning it. I'm putting that little tab again at the frame. I'm just gonna punch. You can do this with any of the frame punches. So one of my favorites has been the I think we're going to be having the Mandala Burst punch and the geometric frame punch coming back as evergreen tools later on this spring. So this would work really well with the geometric frame punch as well, and any of the other previous frame punches. So I'm almost done here. A couple more punches, and we will have punched the entire paper. So save all your little bits. You're going to want those later. But you can see really easily now that it's a beautiful frame. So even just like that on a page, it's a beautiful addition. But what I like to do, just for a little bit more interest, is I just like to give it a little cut. And not down the center, but just I like to cut either at 1/3 or the 2/3. So in this case, I'm actually just going to cut between these first two snowflakes here. So I'm going to cut right down through it. So just line it up, kind of eyeball it. If you've got some designs on the paper that will help you, great. If not, not a big deal. All right, so we've punched the frame. We've got it cut into 2 pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the cut sides against the edges of our paper. Let me move that up there. And it becomes a really pretty sort of base for a layout that is not just a symmetrical box. So again, looks great as it is. So you could just put that right on a page. Obviously that's about as fast as you could go. But when you cut it, and let me just tack it down with some repositionable adhesive. When you cut it, you can see how pretty it can be, and it makes a really interesting page. And this is the type of page that looks way harder than it is. We've just punched and cut. And I'm just trying to make sure I get kind of the edges the same. I don't think I did a very good job, but okay. So that is the perfect base for a couple of photos. So you could put a couple of 4x6s in like that. Of course, you could turn it this way and have a couple of 6x4s. Put a little embellishment here. I don't know if that would be the best one, but put an embellishment and maybe a little cluster with the journaling. You could use a little half journal tag. You could even, you know, put the little journal tag off to the side. So a really, really fast way to make a page. Now, the other thing you can do is you can turn this into a double page layout by punching 2 of the same papers. And then when you have your second page here, it will look like, you know, 1/2 of a punch here. These 2 will join up, and then you could have another punch here. So sort of like this. This is my sample that I did earlier when I was just double checking directions. So you could do something like that. You could even punch it a little bit more symmetrically and have 3 going across the page. Okay, so something like that is super fast and easy, and again, really versatile because you can have it, you know, this way, right? You can have it this way. You can have the large part at the top or off to the side. Okay, so that is our first fast and easy page. Cut, punch all the way around the edges and slice it into 2. It really doesn't matter where you slice. Okay, you could slice, you know, 2 and then 3 between the second and third, or between the third and fourth. It doesn't really matter. But then you just flip them around, and the cut edges go along the edges of your base page. Okay, so that's number 1. All right, let's put that off to the side. Let's get another one. And this one is kind of combining the idea of a border and the frames. And this one is really nice for, it does look very busy when it's done. So again, you might want to spread this over a couple of pages. But the idea with this is that we're going to make 2 borders and we're going to make 2 photo mats. Okay, so now we're going to punch a border. So remember, we're going to use the lines on the front. So There's one. We just kind of keep going all the way along. And then once we finish punching our first border, we're going to cut our paper so that we have some even pieces. You know me, I really like to use all of my paper. I like to try and make sure that I get as much out of it as I can. All right, so I want about a 2-inch border. Because we've trimmed off, you know, a little bit from the edge of the paper, if I cut this at 2 inches, I'm not going to have, you know, an even sort of, I'm not going to have an even leftover amount. So we're going to actually cut it this way, and I'm going to cut it at 10 inches. So now my border will be just a little bit short of 2 inches. But it's basically like I had started with a 2-inch strip, okay? So punch one and then cut at 10 inches. Now we're gonna punch a second border. Again, just doing this in real time, so it might be jiggly and it might take a couple seconds extra. But really, you know, punching is one of the fastest things we can do. And of course, the Creative Memories tools are always so amazing. They make quick work of whatever design you're creating. Okay, and then the same kind of thing. We're not going to cut it at 2, we're going to cut it at 8. So we cut our first border at 10. Now we're going to cut at 8. So now we have our 2 borders about the same size, and we're left with an 8-inch by 12-inch piece of paper. We're going to make 2 photo mats from this. So we're going to turn it sideways so that the 12-inch piece is at the top. We're just going to cut that into 2 pieces, 6 inches by 8 inches. Okay, that away. And now we're going to punch our frames. So remember, with a frame, we start on either of the lines that are on the outside of the body of the punch. Doesn't matter which edge of the paper you start at either. Okay, so we got to do 2 there. Turn it and put the little tab at the frame line. Punch along. We're going to basically have 2 punches on the short ends, 3 punches on the long ends. Turn and put the little tab back in. I find that when you're punching the frames, you got to move the debris away because it does get sort of built up under the body of the punch. Okay. And oops, that was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. So now I kept going as if it was a border. I was supposed to turn it. So now we're just going to turn it. We're going to have to make a bit, actually, you know what? We could do it on this side. That's okay. We can use this solid piece and finish our frame that way. Phew! I thought I had really screwed up there. Okay. And I might have to just sort of fussy cut this part away. That was my not paying attention. Okay, so it's not going to be perfect. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, that's sort of okay. So there's one frame. I think maybe I'll just leave it like that. Let's see if I can make the second frame a little bit better. Pay attention to what you do, Noreen. So we're starting at the frame punch. 3 punches on this side. Then switch it around. Trying to glance up here at see if I'm missing any comments. Lots of hellos. Hello everybody who's just joined us. Linda's saying, oh, there's Linda. She's on my team just up the road here. Punches are amazing. I've been playing with a lot of them. Just having fun. I know, it's so much fun to play. And if you're like me, as soon as you get a new tool, you get out some scrap cardstock and you just see what you can make. Okay, I did that one right. So we'll pretend that both of my frames are right. And what should we use? Let's use a piece of aqua cardstock here. That would be very pretty. So really, we've got two borders here. I'm just going to tack these down. And again, it's pretty versatile. One is going to go up at the top or the bottom, whichever way you think of it. The other one on the opposite side. And then these beautiful showstopper frames are going right in the middle. And what I really like about these is that they're going to highlight some really special photos. So if you have a couple of photos that you really want to highlight, maybe it's a tribute page, something like that, it's going to be perfect for that. As I said, with all of the snowflakes, it does become a bit busy. So you may want to use just one and then have, the title, maybe something like that, and then have the title and a journal box over here. So, but you do have two frames that you can use. And my recommendation would be to pop your photos up and off of the page. So use some foam squares on the back of the photos so that they stand up and away from the snowflake frames. And just, that will really, really set them off. Okay, so that is number 2. What time are we at? We're at 2:24 my time. So we've been scrapping for about 15 minutes and we've got 2 single pages done. Okay, so again, we punched all the way around one, cut it into 2 pieces and used it that way on the page. In this one, we've made a border, and 2 photo mats. And on our third piece, we're going to focus on some borders. Okay, so first we're going to cut our paper. So one piece, double-sided. Make sure you like both sides and make sure you decide which way your pattern is going to go. This is going to make 2 3-inch wide borders. So if you wanted to have your, let me see here, say we were doing it this way. If you want to have your border across the top and you're using a paper like this, you'll want to decide whether you want it to have this sort of flow or whether you're going to cut it through the design and have more like sort of a striped effect. So I'm going to cut with the design and I'm going to cut this paper into 4 3-inch by 12-inch strips. So just 3 cuts, and 2 of them are going to be the base for our borders, and 2 of them are going to be punched. Man, I'm making a lot of noise here. Holy smokes. All right, so I'm thinking that I would like the, I'm going to show the white side as the punch side, and then I'm going to use that nice aqua as the background. Okay, doesn't really matter. You can always flip it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a double punched border on 2 of the 3 strips. Okay, and again, you're going to want to save your the little debris that comes out because we're going to make use of our little snowflakes. Okay, now I'm also going to make them 2 different ways. If I was making a page for myself, I would want to probably make the borders identical, matching. But I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can make it. But we're just going to go ahead and punch. So again, we're back to using the lines on the front. And if you can't see, I can just see the edge of my paper. But if you can't see, you'll want to grab a Post-it note and just make a little handle for yourself. Just put the Post-it note right along the edge of the paper, and then when you feed it in, you'll be able to line up the edge of the Post-it note with the line on your punch. Okay, I don't really need it, but it's there, so we'll just leave it. We're going to go ahead and punch the border just like normal, all the way to the end. No turning required for the borders. And when I do use the punch, I try to hold the paper that's on this side down with the opposite hand. And then when it gets over to this side, I hold it down and switch hands to punch. Okay, we're just gonna hold on to those. Okay, I'll probably need my Post-it note now. Now, we're gonna punch the opposite side, and there's two ways you can do it. So if I've been punching with this side up. If I just turn it and punch, I'm actually going to get kind of an opposing or asymmetrical pattern. So I'll show you that first. So we're punching the same pattern up. It's just punched right through that little Post-it note handle that I had. All the way down. Okay, so now you can see what I mean in that this is an opposite or opposing pattern. So you can see that there's, you know, large snowflake and they're kind of offset. Okay, that's fine. That looks great. I'm going to show you how you can punch if you want a more regular or symmetrical punch. So again, we're going to start with just punching as normal. Starting at the line on the front, matching the design on the base plate. One more on this side, okay? And now, instead of just turning it and punching along the other side, we're actually going to flip it so that the opposite pattern is showing. And then, I need another Post-it, hang on. Then when we punch it that way, we're actually going to have a very symmetrical or regular border. So it's totally up to you which one you like better. But I just wanted to let you know that there's two options there. Okay. Almost done. Okay. And so now I think you can see, I'll peel off the Post-it note. Delicately. So now you can see that this one is much more regular. So the snowflakes create a symmetrical pattern. Both halves of the border are the same. In this one, it's more offset. So they're both lovely. You know, you can choose either one. And then, as you can imagine, we're just going to center this onto this strip. Both look lovely. This one's a little bit harder to make sure you get ready. And then we're going to go back and with some foam squares, we're going to pop some of these large snowflakes up and off of the surface of the border and just kind of in all of the spaces, the in-betweens. So you can kind of see there's a large in-between space here. So as you do that, you can just start adding your snowflakes. If you've got other patterns that you punched out earlier, of course you can add those in. So you're really using all pieces of your borders. Okay, you can't necessarily see that one as well, so I'm just gonna do some of the other colors that we already punched. Okay, and same thing on the irregular side too. You can go ahead, just one foam square in the middle of those large spaces, and it's going to look really, really pretty, and you're using all of your paper. Okay, so you can imagine that I've done that. If you had some gems or something, you could certainly add those in. And then, you know what, I think I might do this on dark sea green. That would look really pretty. Okay, so then we're going to put the two borders again on opposite sides of our layout, our base page. And now we have room for 3 photos right in the middle. So we could put our 3 photos like this. Okay, 3 4x6s right in the middle there. How pretty is that? And of course, if you had horizontal photos, just pop them in like this. If this is the first time you're joining me, people who have been with me a little bit, for a little while will know that I use basically scraps of cardstock, and I just cut them down to the size of standard photos, and then I can play around with them to see how they're going to look on a layout. Okay, if you don't have 3 of the same, you could certainly, add in, a 4x6. Maybe you want to overlap it just a little bit, and then you've got a 6x4. That would still give you lots of room for your journaling and maybe one of your titles over here. Okay, so once you have those kind of bases done using the punch, you've got so many different options for how you want to lay out your paper or your photos, sorry. So if I did something like this, I would tend to try and make a triangle on my borders. So I might have, my title there, and then I would maybe emphasize the, the layout or the sides, and make some clusters, kind of here and here. So I might come in and say, winter right up here, and then more snowflakes or something down here. Okay, so that I would kind of have that triangle. Okay, so that is, my friends, and we're at 2:34 my time. So yeah, about 20-25 minutes to create 3 very different layout base pages, I guess, using that beautiful frame punch. All right, so 3 different ones. So I will, what I'm probably going to do is probably finish these off, make that a little bit neater, etc. And then I will also post some photos of these finished layouts. Lindy Lou saying, the dark embellishments look like turtles, or should I get my eyes tested? Yeah, you know what, they do kind of, there's the little turtle head and his little 4 feet. And if you kind of, took off the tail there, but yeah, they do sort of look like little turtles. But there's actually 3, I think I said this earlier, there's 3 different sizes of snowflakes that get punched out. So you can definitely use, whichever ones, appeal to you. Of course, these little tiny ones are really finicky, but again, that's where your repositionable adhesive or your precision point adhesive will really, really help you. Sorry, Lynette. Lynette saying, and now I see turtles too. Yeah, now we're all going to be going away and looking at the snowflake punch, saying, oh, that's a nice turtle punch. But I do hope that you got some new ideas for using your punches. Like we said, like Linda was saying, she just got punches and she's spending time playing. Yeah, I like to hold on to the title pages from collections that I finished using, and I like to just punch on that. You can use it and just try to figure out how things work. Sometimes I'll buy a pack of really inexpensive paper from, Walmart or Michael's, that kind of thing, when it's on sale. If I can get a pack of 100 pieces of paper for, $5.99 or $7.99, something like that, I'll buy it, and then that will be my test pieces. Old cardstock that is not CM, that I bought years and years ago, I use that for my scrap, and I just play with it. I just punch it, right? So when I was, trying to figure out measurements and stuff, I just pull a piece. I'm never going to use that neon green cardstock from 2001, so I might as well use it and be able to figure out things with it, and then I can go and use my beautiful Creative Memories products and be confident that I have the right measurements and things like that. Okay, all right. Yeah, Andrea's saying, now I need the snowflake punch. Love all the layouts. Lynette's saying, I might have thought of cutting the frame apart myself, but I doubt it. Thanks for the inspiration. Okay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you guys get maybe some new ideas. That's why I do this, share some of the things that go on in this crazy brain of mine. Love giving you guys options for, again, fast, easy, and fun pages that don't take up a lot of time, don't use a lot of materials, but still look great in your albums and showcase your photos and memories. And that's what it is all about, okay? All right, ladies, I'm going to head off. As you saw from the calendar, we've got lots of things going. Going to post my Scrap Olympics challenges tomorrow in my VIP customer group, and I always have questions about this. So if you are in Canada and you want to purchase any of the Creative Memories products, if you purchase through my link, then I send you an invite to become part of my VIP group. And in that group, of course, we do some extra and different things as well, hang out a little bit, because of course it's a smaller space, kind of a more intimate group. So if you are in Canada and want to purchase from me, please do so. I will definitely put the link in the description here. And if you're not, then I hope you join me again. Like I said, next Thursday we'll be up on the Creative Scrapbooker magazine Facebook page at 2:00 p.m. Mountain Time, so same time as this. And then I'll be back here in 2 weeks for our third Thursday of the month and another Facebook Live. So I'll be around, and I can't wait to share some more ideas with you. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you for all the compliments there. I'm so glad that I can share those ideas with you, and I hope that you have fun creating some of those pages. Okay? Enjoy your snowflakes frame punch. It's a beauty. That's a good one. That one is definitely in for the long haul for me, for sure. Okay? All right, so enjoy, everybody. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.